topic for today is Homo sapiens, the only remaining species of the genus Homo and what makes up modern day humans, you and I today. But we're going to follow their evolution and timeline using archaeological evidence to put together a narrative and story up to and around 12,000 years ago when civilization had begun. At least that's what evidence suggests. Now we start around 300,000 years ago when we have the oldest fossil to ever be uncovered by a group of students in Jebel Irhoud of Morocco or North Africa. In this location, they found a skull that has all of the features of modern humans or Homo sapiens. And so that is dated to almost 300,000 years ago. Meanwhile, in around 180,000 years ago, there were teeth and jaw fossils found in a cave within Israel called the Misliya cave. And this suggests that Homo sapiens or modern humans actually migrated out of Africa as early as 180,000 years ago, given this discovery. But complex behavior and sophisticated cognition doesn't really display itself in the archaeological evidence until around 75,000 years ago, where in South Africa of the Blombos Cave, there is beads with little holes drilled into them to show a sort of artifact or necklace where you could put a string through it and create the necklace, and thus art, which requires a higher level of thinking and free time to develop. But it's not on the level of the ability to create a society or civilization. That comes later. Meanwhile, we have evidence that around 50,000 years ago, or between 40 and 80,000 years ago, Homo sapiens had been able to migrate all throughout South Asia, even to Australia, given that sea level was lower. They were able to traverse the small amount of water to get to Australia, or modern day Australia, even though today it would be much, much more difficult given a higher sea level and less land of Australia. So they could have theoretically been able to reach that continent with just canoes or small boats of some sort of seafaring ability. They also were in Europe 20,000 years ago alongside Neanderthals, even mating and cohabitating with them until eventually Neanderthals were extinct around 20,000 years ago. Keep in mind that before Homo sapiens migrated to all these different areas, there were many different species of the genus Homo already settled in these areas. Even there is fossil evidence of a different species of 1.8 million years of age in Georgia. And so there were many other types of hominin in these regions that eventually went extinct, and now Homo sapiens are the only ones that remain. Finally, 25,000 years ago, in a cave in China, is the figurine, the Venus of Brasempui, and this is a well-stitched, well-put-together, complex figurine that requires a lot of dedication and skill, and this suggests that they have developed complex behavior and thought processes and cognition, all able to create buildings and structures, except the only thing that's missing probably at this point in time is cooperation and labor. Therefore, you need communication and ability to get people to come together on a shared goal and work together to build a building or structure. That's where Gobekli Tepe comes in, where we have your first evidence of a megalithic structure dated to around 12,000 years ago. It was an entire enclosure, and this enclosure required a lot of people to come together with shared values and interests to build a really the remnants of the very first civilization, at least the archaeological evidence suggests it is the very first civilization to exist. And so that is a rundown, a brief summary of the evolution of Homo sapiens. And in the next video, I plan on talking in more detail about Gobekli Tepe itself. And so with that, see you guys in the next one. Take care.